Hello guys, and welcome back to another season preview. Very, very close to the halfway point now. Just did Florida, now I'm about to film the Kings, obviously, because that's what you clicked on this title for, I'm assuming. The Kings have been slowly progressing over the last few years, getting better. But do I think that they are quite ready for the playoffs? Well, find out later in this video, because I'm going to start off this preview by looking at their last 3 seasons. So in 2018-19, LA went 31, 42, and 9, finishing 8th out of 8 in the Pacific Division. Of course, not making the playoffs, because you can't make the playoffs when you're 8th in a division that has 8 teams. In 2019-20, they went 29, 35, and 6, finishing 7th out of 8th in the Pacific Division. Once again, no playoffs. And this past season, they went 21, 28, and 7, finishing 6th out of 8 in the West Division. Once again, not making the playoffs. However, the LA Kings have made some moves, made some trades, have young players getting older, that I feel maybe they've gotten a bit better. But first, last season's stats. So, in goals for last season, they averaged 2.54 per game, which was 27th in the league. I think this will go up, not necessarily to the top half of the league, but let's say, I don't know, 19th, 20th. I could see it around there with the additions they made. But this just not got us going. Goals against, 3.02 game, 21st in the league. Sounds right. Power play percentage, 18.9, which is 19th in the league. And penalty kill, they had a very good penalty kill, actually, 83.6%, which is 7th in the league. So that was their last season stats. I don't really have much to say there, really, other than I think that their goals for will go up. I don't necessarily see anything else changing much. But let's look at their projected lines. So, Alex Iafallo, Kopitar, and Carter Brown, I believe that's his first name. Anyway, that's their first line. I don't think this is one of the even top half first lines in the league at all. I like Kopitar. Kopitar's definitely a first-line center. And then you got Carter Brown, who is getting older, like 36. That's not young. So you're hoping he doesn't decline this season. And then on the left side, you've got Iafallo, who is just... I feel like he's more of a second-line forward than a first-line forward. But, you know, they're still trying to get better, get their young players to grow. On the second line, you've got Kempe, Denault, and Arvidsson. And this could be a solid second line. So Kempe, he's still young. He could still get better, but I feel like he's still a good second line forward. Denault, very good. Obviously, we know he's probably one of the best, if not like one of the best defensive forward in the league. And he can still put up some decent points. But in the playoffs, he didn't put any points, so you're hoping you get some of that offense going. At least a little bit of offense if he's playing on the second line. And then on the right side, you got Arvidsson, who playing in a bigger role in LA than he did in Nashville. I'd expect to see bounce back. Arvidsson is a good player, very good player, good goal scorer, and I see him bouncing back, scoring maybe at least 20 goals this season. Third line. I think they have a very good third line. You got Andreas Athanasiou, Gabriel Velarde, and more. All three of these players being very good players on the third line. And Velarde only being 22, you know, he could take that step forward that you want him to take. And I could definitely see this third line. Like, it's just a good third line. Athanasiou, he could bounce back. He was very good in Detroit a couple years ago. And then Moore's just a good third liner. And then their fourth line, I don't hate their fourth line. That's the one thing. The one thing that I can't take away from LA is they got good depth and forward. And they still got some young guys. It's like Quinton Byfield. That's one thing I forgot to mention. Cap Friendly doesn't even have Quinton Byfield on the scratches list. They have Quinton Byfield in the minors. And personally, I think Quinton Byfield will start on the Kings. And if he's not good, he could get sent down. But I think he'll definitely start on the Kings roster, but for some reason, Cat Friendly doesn't even have him here. But yeah, just good forward depth all around on the Kings. Moving on to defense. You've got Anderson and Doughty. Anderson good defensively. Doughty had a good bounce back year last year. I don't think he'll necessarily be worth that $8 million forever, but what are you gonna do, right? Good first pairing, good enough. On the second pairing, you got Bjornfoot and Roy. Bjornfoot's only 20, so he could definitely get better. Well, he will probably get better. Oh yeah, Anderson's only 22, so they got quite a young defensive core when you look at it overall, other than Doughty. Like, Roy's 26, Bjornfoot's 20, Anderson 22. But Bjornfoot and Anderson, you're hoping that they take those breakthrough season steps forward. And then on that third pairing, you got Edler, who I forgot if they traded or signed him. I think they signed him. He played in Vancouver forever. Good third pairing option. And then Walker, who I like Walker. Puts up some offensive numbers. So I think they got a good third pairing, We'll see how this defense does. You need those young players to play well. And then in goaltending, you've got Cal Peterson, who's 26, and Jonathan Quick, who's older, 35. But Peterson is trying to prove himself as a starter in the NHL. He did well last year. He put up a .911 save percentage in 35 games. And Cal Peterson, I like him. He's going to really need to prove himself this year that he can for sure be that starter for LA in the future. And the backup position, obviously, of Jonathan Quick. He put up an .898 save percentage in 22 games. He's just falling off. He's getting older, I think he'll be fine in the backup position. And at the end, to top it off, I'll just mention the scratches. Just so you know, just people who haven't watched this. So most of you, because usually I'm assuming the people who watch these videos like their own team, But, so the 3 people in scratches, I usually don't know them very well. I just do it for the the fans of the team. You got Grunstrom, Anderson, and Mata. Sorry if I butchered that last name. When you got an M in 2 ways with polka dot eyes over them, I don't know how to pronounce it. But my prediction for the Kings, they're definitely the best of the 3 California teams, for sure. San Jose refuses to accept that they need to rebuild, and Anaheim is in a rebuild, like completely deep in a rebuild. And LA's getting out of it, trying to at least. So that's at least 6th right there. I don't know if they're better than Seattle, but I could see them being... I don't know if I have that much hope in Calgary. I do. Here's the thing. I'm going to have to go 6th or 5th between them and Calgary and Seattle. I think Seattle's better looking at the roster again. But Calgary... You know what? I'm going to go 6. I'm going to say LA's not quite there yet. Not quite a playoff team. Maybe next year, but this year, not quite. So I'm going to say 6th in the Pacific is my prediction for the Kings. Well, thank you for watching. If you're still here, I'm about to go do dishes. So I will see you guys in the next video. Loud.